Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome to another Stats versus Facts Sports Talk. You know where you at? It's your boy Marsh. And we here with G Money. What's happening, bro?
What's up, man? What's up, man? Been a crazy week. Been a crazy week, man.
Yes, it has. Cha-ching. Get that money, G. Uh,
Always.
yes, sir. We're back for another episode, man. Got some good things ahead for you. Uh, Playoff basketball. I mean, it's getting wild out there. It's
We in
getting
it. We in it.
it's getting wild out there, man. But we definitely are. Some sweeps are gonna happen. Might go to 7 games. A couple, I don't even know what the hell is going to happen. To be honest with you,
They're close.
you
Some
know,
close ones, man.
definitely. But first off, I want to give a shout out to be controlled Trapani, the team, friend of the show, Marshall Corbett plays for.
Oh,
Yep, they right now are in playoffs. They
let's
are
go, Marshall, man.
playing. They're playing Apu Udine. I don't know how you pronounce the name,
They're
but they
playing the
just beat
losers
them
because they're gonna lose.
72-68. Yeah, so it was a good win. Good win for the guys. It's a best of 5 series in the first round. They're actually down 2-1 right now, but they saved this game. Um, so congratulations, brother, for that one. Keep it going. Get this next one and push that to a game 5, man.
Big salute, big salute. I'm waiting for that his merch line to get back on board so I can cop some.
That just legendary. You know what I mean? Go check that out for real, for real. But we always wish him the best. Um, shoot, where do we want to start?
Man, I'm ready wherever you are, man.
Well, let's go ahead and start with some craziness that happened this week, man.
Speak on it.
And there's a couple of incidents in the NBA. Game 2, Hawks, Knicks. I mean, Trey Young has been absolutely torching the Knicks, and it's kind of embraced that role as bad guy, right? And there was a fan. They didn't get it on tape, but there was a fan that apparently was sitting a couple rows behind 50 Cent, spit over 50 Cent at Trey Young. I think it actually hit Trey Young. It's just like, why?
Yeah, or some of it got on on 50's girl, like the girl was sitting next to 50 or something. The girl he was with. It
That's,
was crazy, man.
yeah, that's disgusting. First of all, and we are still in a pandemic, people. Come
Yeah.
on. Then we had uh, the incident where Russell Westbrook twisted his ankle. He's in Philadelphia, um, and ends up walking back towards the locker room. Fourth quarter, and gets popcorn dumped on his head by a fan. Why? Again, why?
It's Philly,
And
man. Didn't they throw something at Santa? Not the Eagles.
something I want to say that was Philly too, where that we had that fan that was flicking off Russell Westbrook. That wasn't Philly. That was Utah. I think that was Philly though, if I'm not
Some wild
mistaken.
stuff going on with fans, man. Out of
Absolutely.
pocket.
And the third one is in Utah. John Morant's father and mother were harassed, and they were there was racial slurs thrown at them by some fans in Utah, which the Jazz owners, which includes D Wade and Donovan Mitchell, spoke out and said, "This is not us. This was despicable. These fans do not represent us as a team." And they apologize. So my question to you, G Money, is with incidents like these, is there a level of discipline that should be put on these fans? Like one warrants maybe a year, and then others warrant lifetime, or if you do an incident like this, is it just a lifetime ban?
Man, so you want to know if should be a universal ban automatic or there should be levels to this?
Correct.
Hmm. Man, I honestly say, man, you gotta. I mean, it. I would say lifetime ban, man. I mean, I don't. I don't condone, throwing things at at players or talking out of pocket to players or especially spitting on somebody or racial slurs at people. Like, I know there's levels and stuff like that, but I don't want this interaction with fans anymore. I don't want it in the game no more. It's uncalled for. It's not good. Like, it's not like you have to have stiff penalties for this in order for it to stop. I mean, but there is a difference between just heckling somebody and booing somebody and then going. So there is kind of levels to it, but I would like for it to be steeper penalties because this is getting out of hand.
Right. For the three instances that we just mentioned,
Yeah.
all of them should get banned for life.
Yeah.
Because spitting,
Yeah.
that's disrespectful.
Yeah. That's probably the most disrespectful thing you could do to somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. Dumping anything, beer, popcorn, whatever, that is also very disrespectful.
Malice in the Palace.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously these players can't get up to the fans, you know what I mean? But the fans can do whatever to the players. No. And three, the racial slurs to a family member or talking about somebody's family member or anything like that. No. That's, to me, that warrants ejection for the fans and a lifetime ban. I mean, you can boo, like you said, you can heckle, oh, your game sucks. Oh, you bricking, you ain't making this, da 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 da, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Some players,
you're balding.
Yeah, you're balding, stuff like that. Start threatening family members, talking about family members. That's when you're taking it a little bit too far.
Yeah.
You're
getting a little too comfortable.
Yeah, you're getting exactly.
With these super athletes, humans that you don't want no piece of.
Yeah, one-on-one for sure. But you think, because I'm in the arena, all the other fans are gonna back me up. No, you alone on that one. You alone on that one, bro.
Yeah, you got that. So, you handle your own fade.
Exactly. And from what I understand, at least for the Philly, they took the Philly fan out.
Mm-hmm.
They got the Knicks fan, and I think they got the Jazz fan too. From reading that, so they got all three.
This stuff is on live TV, bro. Like this thing is like how you think you're gonna get away with this? This is like on live TV. Like everybody has phones. Like there's no way getting away with this kind of stuff.
Well, not only that, but you have a whole bunch of other people around you that are like, we don't want to see that. We just want to enjoy the game. Like, of course, we're gonna root for our team and try to throw the other team off with trash talk, but nothing like that. Yeah. Like that's on a whole different level.
That's when emotions get a hold of you, and you just go. These people go to a bad place, and you're just like, bro, there's no reason to go to that area. Like, bro, like, what are you doing? But kind of reveals character,
Yeah, absolutely. Outside of the NBA, we had there's a couple of Dodgers fans that went at some Astros fans.
Does it seem like there's more boxing and a baseball these days? Like I see a couple of highlights now and then, like that one dude just walked up to the other dude.
Yeah. I forget who was playing, but he just
that guy just took and slumped him.
Yeah, I was like, and obviously the world of baseball has to because of the whole cheating scandal. I mean, it's not the fans that cheated, the team. So don't take it out. But obviously we're happy to get back into the arenas as fans for sure and support the teams, but we cannot take this for granted. You know what I mean? Because look at how up till 2005, things were a little bit different as far as interacting with players because we never had something like the Malice in the Palace happen, right?
Yeah.
But ever since after that, now you have, because I don't know if you remember going to a Spurs game as a young kid and being able to go right down by the tunnel, high five the players, everybody was just around there. Now they have it to where you have to like get some certain band or something like that in order to, or get selected to high five the players and be by the tunnel and stuff like that. It's just different now because they're trying to protect the players. So I understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it only takes one really bad instance to ruin it for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like the planes, kind of like the 9/11 attack. I remember being able to go down right by the airport,
Oh yeah, true.
right by the gate, and not have to go through security. And now, we have to go through TSA, security, all this, that, and the other. And it's just like, can I catch my flight?
Yeah, I mean, usually
So,
people don't
but
like, they think people have common sense and they're calm and cool and collected, and so that sometimes they don't safeguard against certain things. But then incidents like that, all the incidents we described happen, and then procedures have to change just for safety of everybody.
yep, because you see one person do that, more people are capable of that.
Yeah,
So, crazy.
especially now, you're getting you get attention for anything on social media, and you get likes and stuff and go viral. I mean, then it's something that means a lot to people, so they'll keep doing things like that.
Yeah, they sure will. So, but anyway, after all that craziness, let's talk about the Mavericks and Clippers, man. Break it down for us real quick, D Money.
It's basically you can't stop Luka Doncic, man. There is nobody on the Clippers, just like last year. You had Marcus Morris a little bit last year, but there's nobody that really can stop Luka Doncic. And Kawhi, I mean, and the big shocker is probably Hardaway probably playing either equal to or over Paul George. We know Paul George has pandemic P, but he's been playing solid, a little bit solid. But Hardaway's been right there with him, so Luka's been able to outmatch or outplay Kawhi and be unstoppable. Kawhi has not backed down and done his own thing, but they're about, I'll give the edge Luka there. And then Hardaway and Paul George have played to a tie. Sometimes Hardaway's a little bit better. So then you look at the rest of the roster, you're like, Porzingis is better. They got Jalen Brunson. They got Dorian Finney-Smith stepped up in one game. You got different guys stepping up for them. And then the Clippers side, no one's really stepping up for them. I mean, Zubac is getting, torched and hung out to dry. I mean, Luke Kennard's not even, they signed Luke Kennard. He's not even in the rotation. I mean, Serge Ibaka now has backache, so he's not playing. Like, he hasn't been a real factor. I mean, it's looking real bleak for the Clippers. I mean, I don't know. They talked to Tyronn Lue and they said he was, not really worried about things. But I mean, what I've seen on the court, I don't know how the Clippers not only get back in win this series. Like, it looks really bleak for them.
Yeah. Nobody can stop Doncic, man. Like you said, nobody can stop him. I mean, dude's shooting off of 1 foot.
Yeah.
And I kind of discussed this the day about how Kawhi normally doesn't get over that 30 point mark, which he did get to 40 points the other day.
Oh yeah, he heard 41. You. I was like, oh my, you heard Marshall.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely heard that. So and Paul George at 28. They were both very efficient, right? And obviously that was good. The rest of the team didn't show up. Yeah. The rest of the team didn't show up at all. They were banking on Beverly being back from being injured. Luka was babying him. Ibaka with his back injury, he's gonna miss the game. And his athleticism, they were using him as an upgrade from Montrezl Harrell. And that obviously hasn't really worked out.
Yeah.
And getting a shooter like Kennard, which I thought they were going to use him more, they really haven't used him that much. And you have Rondo, and you're not using him?
Yeah.
Why? You know what I mean?
I don't think Pat Beverly should really play anything in the series. Yeah. Like, I think he's been kind of washed for about 2 years now, to be honest with you.
Yes.
He was all right. He was all right last year.
He was effective to a certain point because he still was hitting some shots last year, even in the bubble. But this year, I would say was the first year I could say, yeah, he's starting to look pretty washed, man. Yeah. Or maybe he just needs to rejuvenate his career somewhere else. I mean, look at Lou Williams. He was kind of going on the down and down, and now he's in Atlanta and found a better role. So maybe Patrick Beverly just needs to get in a better role. Maybe he goes to Chicago and rejuvenates his career. I mean, he's from Chicago. You know what I mean?
They need a
So
defensive guard next to Levine. I mean, that Kobe White, they're good offensively, but they're terrible defensively. They leak too many points.
So he can come off the bench, after them. But picking up Rondo, you might as well, they should have just picked up somebody else, in my opinion, if you're not going to use him. The best way for the Clippers to get back in this series that I see, because you're not going to be able to guard Luka one-on-one, obviously, it's been shown. To me, you need to have a combination of Rondo and either Paul George or Rondo and Morris trap Luka and make him give up the ball, and have Kawhi sneaking, kind of like a safety, in order to do that. Or you can have, I would say, put Kawhi and Rondo there on Luka, because both
So
of
you
those
want kind of like the Dame trap.
Yeah, kind of like the Dame trap, and exactly kind of what they were doing towards Curry. But after Kawhi, I don't know PG and Morris and whoever else is back there is going to be that quick enough on the defense or have that defensive prowess. Because like if you get past Kawhi and Rondo, you're pretty much screwed. If you get past Rondo and Paul George and Rondo and Morris, you still have Kawhi back there and can still feel kind of good about it. So I don't know. Don't Boogie in there. What the heck is Boogie? Let him mix up. Let him mix up with a couple of things. I mean, shoot, you need to try something, because the Clippers get swept. Tyronn Lue's gonna get fired.
Yeah.
If they lose, regardless, Kawhi's out of there. He's heading to Miami. I've been saying that. He is going to Miami.
I don't know what Kawhi's going to do, to be honest with you. I mean, I know he has family, and we know as a Spurs how much his family means to him and how much his roots are in LA.
Right.
But I don't see a path where, I mean, you can trade Paul George, but I don't know what you're going to get for him that will make you a championship team.
Come here to San Antonio. I'm good with that.
I don't know what moves they really have. I mean, there's a lot of bad contracts. The Marcus Morris contract doesn't look good now. The Kennard contract does not look good at all. I mean, there's nothing, and you don't have any picks. So I don't know what the solution is to you getting good.
Yep. And, this is just the Clippers being the Clippers, man. Like, everybody expected them to really take over, and they felt so bad for Kawhi and da 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 da. And I'm just like, okay, if he goes to the Clippers and chumps it up, we gonna be on his ass.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, he played well this last game. Paul George played better. If they play like that in the next, for the rest of the series, then I can't necessarily look at them other than Kawhi. You need to be more of a playmaker, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Or Paul George be more of a playmaker, because they're doing what they need to, but the rest of the team isn't really chipping in.
Or get a true point guard.
Yeah.
Someone that can play make for you, because they need playmaking. That's why substituting Batum in for Morris works so well, because Batum can move the ball.
Right.
They're still looking for more playmaking.
I forgot Batum is there too, but he's older,
I think you either do the Dame trap, or like we've seen with DeRozan, where they pack the paint and make you shoot threes. You could possibly go that route. I mean, you can't play Zubac. Like, he's just too slow. I think you have to go either Morris or even Kawhi at center and just deal with the rebounding on your own.
Like I said, even though he's probably going to be slower, I would still throw Cousins in there a little bit, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I just don't think Cousins is playable because of his mobility.
His mobility isn't what it used to be, for sure, but passing ability wise, and then getting you a couple of boards.
You might be able to stretch the floor.
And stretching the floor a bit, because he can shoot a little bit too. I think he could give you, a few good minutes to kind of mix it up a little bit. So
yeah, I know Doncic is gonna be like, Doncic is attacking people. Like, he's getting switches and just going at people, and you can't do nothing.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, shoots. Clippers better not get swept. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, I'm good with it, because then it throws a interesting wrinkle for the offseason for us. Talk about, have content. Where's Kawhi going? Where's the Clippers? Obviously, as a Spurs fan, that's another team that if it blows up, they're behind us. So we're one step close to the playoffs.
At least we hope.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Or who knows what else that, if we get, who knows what else that will trigger in the NBA.
Yeah, no, definitely. Last night we had the Lakers and the Suns play game 3. The Lakers took a 2-1 lead. CP3 not happy with officiating, so the reason why he's lost his last 11 playoff games with Scott Foster's officiating, because Scott Foster calls stuff against him. And I'm like,
it's a league conspiracy that they put Foster in there to make sure the Lakers win.
I was like, and from most, the rest of the NBA analysts, former players, whomever has said, Foster officiates the game pretty much the same for everybody.
Mm-hmm. It's an interesting record though against.
Yeah, it is. The other thing was Devin Booker pushing. It was kind of like a Devin Booker, Jay Crowder combination of pushing Schroeder out the air.
Tag team wrestling thing.
Right, which Booker got ejected for. I don't think he'll get suspended. I mean, it was a flagrant 2. He shouldn't get suspended, nor did I really think it was a flagrant 2. Maybe you can get a flagrant 1, but obviously the way they call these games soft today, it kind of is what it is. But my question for you is it's a 2-parter. Are the Suns losing because of that Chris Paul injury with his shoulder? And 2, what do they need to do to bounce back and make this a series? Like where do they get their spark from to make this a tied series in the next game?
First answer, I believe that, because I was coming in this series and I was saying all they have is Chris Paul and Booker. I didn't believe Ayton was going to be able to give them much. And it ended up being the opposite. It ended up being Booker and Ayton being the 2 consistent, and CP3 because of injury can't give you anything. So I think if CP3 was able to give you, 15 points at least, like right there in that spot, I think these games would be coming down to the wire, and then it's up to whoever the closers is to finish it off. But I definitely think they would be a lot better positioned to win, because they can't find anybody else's. I mean, Cameron Payne's been good off the bench coming in, but Schroeder on the other side has stepped up for the Lakers too.
Yeah.
So then you're like, okay, well, Bridges isn't showing up. Jay Crowder. I mean, nobody really off the bench. Torrey Craig looked all right, but
he actually hit a 3-pointer. It was shocking me the other day.
Yeah, because I was like, this guy's just all defensive. You never know he could shoot. But
Cam Johnson did good. I believe it was game 2 was probably his best game. Mm-hmm. Other than that,
that's the hardest part, because I think the Suns could win this series if they could find the offense to win this. But there's nothing. I mean, Sarge is coming back from an injury. Doesn't look the same. I mean,
Kaminsky got injured too, right?
Yeah.
And he would have been another big piece to add. As a big front line versus Davis and LeBron and Drummond.
Yeah, I mean, you have to roll I'm looking at probably Cam Johnson is probably the person that maybe Jay Crowder has a Jay Crowder game where he comes up big.
Yeah.
But I mean, Booker and Ayton been solid. They've been matching, AD and, LeBron kind of, I'll play them, but they're still right there to put you in the conversation. I just really thought CP3 this is the worst possible thing that could happen to the Suns. From drawing the Lakers and now CP3 being hurt.
Yeah.
It's like it's not meant to be.
Right. And the Suns, it's not like the Suns blew the Lakers out in game 1.
Yeah.
Game 2, they were getting at them. They were blitzing them a lot, but AD was getting to the line a lot. It's not like LeBron is really putting up huge Herculean numbers. He's putting up 20. He's averaging like about 21.5 points.
He's like 80%, you would say? He seems like 80%. He's not a full.
Right, because he's missing. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's never the greatest 3-point shooter, but he's missing threes that he's hitting. That turnaround is still kind of there, though. That turnaround, he's getting that. He had a nice little up and under against Crowder. I mean, defensively, the Lakers are good, you know, but this is not a team that can win the championship because there are certain times they go on a drought, and if other teams are able to put it together, like a Brooklyn Nets could, shoot, even a Dallas, could with the way they've been playing, maybe even a Denver if they get hot,
Yeah.
they could get could bounce the Lakers out, and with guys are seeming to get injured every play. I mean, there was one particular point, I think AD went for a block, kind of tweaked his ankle, then Caruso tweaked his ankle, or Schroeder tweaked his ankle, and then Caldwell Pope tweaked his knee or something. I was like, dang, man.
Yeah, Pope had an MRI today. It was clear, no tears, but he's a game time decision. So if he can't play or he's injured, then you kind of say, okay, well, maybe this tips back to the Suns.
Right. Now, if you're the Lakers, you're going to have to play a THT. Kuzma's been a no-show.
Yeah.
Like, he was 1 of 11 and had like 4 points maybe the other night. I was just like, sheesh, dude.
And I think AD sometimes is tentative because I think he feels like a KD situation could happen where he plays too hard and it rips.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think he wants to play. That's why they have Drummond in there to play center.
Right.
I don't think he wants that kind of pressure on his body.
Right. And they're not playing Harrell like at all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and he, from being 6-man to this season, I said he almost went from being pretty decent to washed.
Yeah. I mean, that's why the Clippers kind of got rid of him. They were like, you're good during the regular season and you give us, a power punch when Kawhi's able to sit down or Paul George is out. But in the playoffs, you're unplayable.
Right.
So it's like, do you worth keeping around?
Right. And then Gasol, I will say this, Gasol has been giving them a few better minutes finally.
Yeah.
He's
still on the last leg, but
sure.
He's hanging in there.
He hit a big 3 in game 2 against the Suns. I was like, okay, that'll help. We know Wes Matthews really ain't giving you much. Caruso, he tries, he tries, but Lakers guard play is weak outside of Schroeder.
Yeah.
So if something happens to him, they're done.
Yeah.
They're done. So I don't know, like you said, if Pope's out, you need THT to step the heck up. Oh
man, that gets real interesting.
Yeah.
Which going back, remember we were talking about, I was like, they need to stop playing Wesley Matthews, and we were both like the agreement that THT should be getting minutes, getting ready because they're going to need him later down the line.
Mm-hmm.
And like they kind of didn't do it, and now he's like, so I mean,
he didn't have I thought he was going to have a better season than he did. Shooting still needs work, and he's kind of made some interesting decisions. Plus, they put him at point guard. I'm like, why?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, so, but definitely, obviously we know there's going to be about 2 for sure sweeps.
Bucks
Heat is going to be a sweep.
And Nets
Celtics should be a sweep.
Philly.
Oh, 3. Yeah, that was the other one. Philly, Washington. That should be a sweep. Especially since Westbrook with that ankle.
Yeah.
The interesting 2, I don't consider, when I see Utah, Memphis play 3 and 4, then we can kind of talk about that because I'm still,
I want to see another game.
I still want to see another game. Denver, Portland. Austin Rivers stepped the heck up last night.
Random.
And man, I was like, what the heck? He came out, and it was right after Melo knocked down like 8 points in a row. Something like that. Austin Rivers came in and said, okay, I'm going to take this game over. I said, I said, if he shoots like that.
We went back to mixtape Austin Rivers High School.
I was like, if he shoots like that, with the way Jokic has been playing, with the way MPJ is playing, they can beat Portland.
Yeah, they're trying to find that third guy.
Mm-hmm. And the kid out of Marquette, Howard?
Yeah, Marcus Howard.
Is Howard? he's playing. He's
Yeah.
giving them some decent minutes. Obviously, they refuse to play ball. I'm not going to say it anymore. Like, refuse to do it. You know what I mean? But with Dame, CJ, and Norman, the way they were flinging threes yesterday, they always have a fighting chance.
Yeah. Threes are the great equalizer. If you get high and hit threes, you can win a game for sure.
But my question to you would be on that series, what are they missing? Like, what is Portland missing overall to kind of get them to the next level? Because we always see the greatness of Dame and CJ, but they seem to be missing something. Who do they need to get rid of? Who do they need to bring in?
So I liken Dame to Curry, like as far as point guards, like, and so what I see with Curry is he has Draymond to facilitate offense. Portland doesn't really have that guy, that Boris Diaw type of guy that can facilitate an offense and get you more playmaking from a different position. And that's what I kind of see with Dame kind of needs. So maybe like if you got rid of Covington for like a Thad Young or something like that, where you can get a more ball movement in the offense. And they've always been missing, I mean, Norman Powell's okay. He's 6'4", but he has a big wingspan, so he can kind of get away with playing the three. But they've always needed a small forward.
Yeah, legit
small longest time.
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
Nurkic is no longer Nurkic.
Yeah, he was. Don't get me wrong, he was battling for the boards, and had he not fouled out, I don't think Jokic gets that rebound towards the end. That seals it. But it's kind of hard when you got to go up against both Jokic and MPJ that can fly in there and get boards. So I agree with you. You need another guy that's kind of like a Draymond, like you said, or you just need another guy at the four that can shoot and rebound. Because Covington,
yeah, that's true. He's
not really a good shooter, And as I'm scouting the league and kind of looking around, I'm just like, well, who could they bring in? Because you're right with Powell. I would rather bring him off the bench if I could. At this particular point, you're not gonna like it, but I'm just like, shoot, start Melo. I know he's not the greatest defender, but he is a little bit taller. Working with Dame and CJ, I think they'll get more out of him, me personally, to where if you bring Powell off the bench, he's still going to have that effectiveness. But now you have a guy in Melo that he's a little bit bigger. And sometimes just being a little bit taller with some size can throw people off. So what are your thoughts with that?
I just think veteran well, I mean, Covington can kind of cover Melo if you want a cross matchup. It's tough, man.
Scoring wise, he hurts them.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, man, because Covington, you lose defense. Melo, you gain offense, you lose defense. So it's like which way you want to go, like which way you want to try to out offense the Denver Nuggets, or do you want to try to just kind of keep it close and maybe hopefully one of y'all players get hot? I mean, at this point, I mean, if you've got to throw everything at I would throw anything at the wall, You can't just I go down fighting if I'm a coach. I'm not a type of the guy's like, oh, okay, well, I can't do this because, Melo's used to being a 6-man, that's it. But I mean, at this point, it's all, you're trying to win at all costs. So I mean, you got to throw all different kind of lineups at. I mean, I don't even know, man. I'll be honest with you. I mean, they don't. I would say go because Covington's best as a small ball 5, but there's no way he can handle Jokic.
Yeah,
so it's like you can't do that, and there's nobody else other than Nurkic that can really be out there with Jokic.
Where's Cantor? Why is Cantor not getting minutes? You know what I mean? Like, and we saw him put up a 30-30 game. Yeah. They're not playing him for whatever reason, and I think he could be useful. So if not him, then the only other way I could see something working is if you throw in a Melo at a 3 or even to start at the 4. That's the only way I could see, something like that really working out and try to out offense the Nuggets, because certain times they're, Dame or CJ may not be able to get their shot, or they get double teamed. Just give it to Melo. Melo can ISO ball, and you hope that he can score, drop 20, 22 points. And I think that would be enough to put Portland over the top of Denver, because there's, other than Austin Rivers coming out busting yesterday, Denver was looking a little dead. Like they were looking like they they needed some offense. I mean, Porter Jr. had 18. He played okay.
Yeah,
Jokic obviously had 30 something again. Capazzo, you can pretty much kill him if you're, Dame. So
for sure. It's
I think they
basically Dame and Jokic gonna go off. Who's gonna step up? Like what side's gonna step up more?
right. And so far, it's been Denver. So we will see. Because right now, the way this is kind of leaning, if Rivers comes out and plays like that again, Denver could take this in 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, I think Denver's starting to look like the better team if they have that third guy.
Mm-hmm. So we'll
So,
see, but that's a good one.
I'm glad I picked Portland in 7 then.
Yeah, that was too hard for me to pick. I said either way. Other game that we were that's kind of close. The Hawks and the Knicks. Julius Randle has not looked too good in the series, man. I'm like, oh, he's reverting back.
It's like the monsters took all his powers, bro. Like he just looks wild out there. I can see if like they were throwing like massive double. I mean, it's kind of congested down there, but it's not like I've seen him go off, against this kind of stuff. I've seen him go off against the Hawks.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's just I don't know if it's playoff nerves. I don't know. It's just getting to him. I don't know what it is, but it just he doesn't look the same, man.
Right. I mean, the Hawks beat the Knicks this evening 105-94 to take a 2-1 lead. Randall was 2 for 15 from the field. Like that's horrific. Thank God you had Derrick Rose who went for 30.
Dude, Derrick Rose has been crazy.
Mm-hmm. He has been.
He has saved them.
He really has. He started. Noel was hurt, but he even started off the game pretty hot. He was 12 points, 8 boards. Bullock had 11. But other than that, nobody else scored in double figures to where the whole Hawks starting lineup scored in double figures. 14 for Collins, 11 for Hunter, 13 for Capella, 21 for Trey Young, 15 for Bogdanovich, and then you had Gallinari with 12 off the bench and Huerter with 10. Williams even chipped in 9. So it's kind of like,
it's have too much offense. Knicks doesn't have enough offense, dude.
Yeah, unless Julius Randle can start getting back to the Julius Randle that he was, Knicks are gonna go down.
Yeah, I think the Knicks are gonna lose this. I mean, we had picked I think we both picked the Hawks.
Yes, we did. I said I think the Hawks could go.
I thought it was gonna be a 7-game series, but it looks like it might be. If they win the next one, it might be pretty much over.
Yeah, it might be. So here's my question to you. And it's a funny one. It has nothing to do necessarily with this series, but are Knicks fans and Cowboys fans very similar?
I think the loyalty is similar. I think the Cowboys fans were always super optimistic. I think New Yorkers and New York Knicks fans are super like, man, we're gonna suck. Like I think every year they're like, we're gonna suck. They have PTSD. I think us Cowboy fans are always like, hey, bro, we're gonna be in the playoffs. We're gonna probably maybe a Super Bowl run. Like
you Cowboys fans, I'm realistic.
You might be a Knicks fan.
Right.
But that's more in line with it. Yeah. Obviously they make a lot of money being losers. I mean,
always in the headlines for a wrong reason.
Yeah.
James Dolan throwing Spike out and Charles
ownership problems.
Jerry Jones, not wanting to pay Dak and trying to keep Romo and keeping Jason Garrett. It's just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And then I guess both fan bases are like wondering, like, when is this going to turn around? Like, when are we going to start looking more positive into the future instead of always been like, damn, man, another year.
Yeah.
I can see similarities, yeah.
Yeah, Knicks fans were ecstatic, but when some of the fans started saying, we want Brooklyn. I was like, no, you don't.
That's just like a pride thing. That's just
yeah, it definitely was.
They just want to they hate. I mean, that they don't like Brooklyn. You know, it's gentrified. They hate it. You know, they don't feel like it's part of New York. They hate. I mean, we all hate. I mean, I don't want to say hate, but we all dislike how all three of them came together. We typically don't really like any of them. I mean, we're cool with KD. People are up and down with Kyrie. I mean,
with
most
KD,
likable
people
three.
still feel like he was weak for that. And then Harden going over there,
Honey bun Harden over here.
Yeah.
On the fat suit.
And then getting Blake Griffin, if they would have still had Aldridge, he wouldn't have been forced to retire too.
That's just a battle for New York kind of thing. That's why they wanted them.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
They need another guy. They need a star, like another guy. Yeah.
Could we see a Kawhi, Paul George, somebody like that go to the Knicks? Or do we see a possible Zion when his contract is up go to the Knicks?
Obviously, I think they'll. I thought CP3 honestly was going to opt out, and then it was going to be between the Suns and the Knicks to sign him.
Mm-hmm.
But now I think he'll probably keep his contract. I don't think he'll opt out because I don't think he'll get very much money if he's like going to be injured.
Yeah, I always thought I thought CP3 might go to the Lakers, but after this and everything that's happening, he's gonna be like, nah, F them. We can beat them. And he's probably in Phoenix. Yeah. So
I think they might go out there like a Kyle Lowry.
Yeah. Could Lowry and DeRozan be the new duo in New York?
Possibly. I don't like the fit, honestly, with DeRozan, but I like Kyle Lowry. I think it's an upgrade over Alfred Payton.
Yeah. And Frank Ntilikina.
I could see, honestly, I mean, I don't know. I've talked to Knicks fans and they're really not happy with the idea, but I thought if Kawhi leaves the Clippers and the Clippers are like, the Clippers most likely will try to like patch it together, probably try to bring in DeRozan or somebody to.
I think they will. I think they'll bring in DeRozan.
But say they blow it up for some reason, I think New York could possibly be a destination for Paul George.
Okay.
Over Reggie Bullock.
Yeah, I can do that. Or shoot, maybe they try to bring Melo back. I'm kidding.
Wow.
Not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Poor I'm the king of New York, Melo. Anyway.
No. You need me, guys. Or if the Heat, I don't know what the Heat are gonna do, but obviously, Tibbs and Jimmy Butler are tight.
This is true. That could happen.
And they're like, hey, we got something over here. We already got half of the Bulls. Come on. We got Rose, Taj.
True. Yeah, that is very true. Man.
Maybe they kick the tires on Oladipo for cheap 1 year deal. See if he's got any life left.
Huh?
Maybe a 1 year deal on Oladipo. See if he's got any life left.
I'm sorry. Say it one more time. It cut out.
Oh, maybe a 1 year deal on Oladipo. See if he got anything. If he's got any life left.
Are we back?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that, everyone. Quality that goes.
It's tripping.
Yeah. What was the last thing you said?
I said Oladipo on a 1 year. See if he has any left.
Potentially, you could do an Oladipo. I don't really know who else you could. I don't know who else they could get. You try to get a Towns.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's why you brought in those guys, Worldwide West and Leon Rose, that used to be an agent. Worldwide West has obviously connections everywhere. You're obviously trying to get another star in there. So.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it is time. NBA trivia.
Oh,
courtesy of Ballers Nation.
All right, let's go.
All right. So we're not gonna do we're gonna do an alphabet one and then something else. Are you ready?
All right.
Okay. So we're gonna go with alphabet lineup with the letter B. Last names start with the letter B.
B.
All right. You
And then
got
players now, right?
Yep, players now. You got 5 of them.
Okay, start with the 76ers. And 76, Ben Simmons, Embiid. I think no Nets, Harden, Kawhi. I mean Irving, Durant.
Let me know when you want a
Giannis, no. Randall, RJ Barrett,
is not on there.
Bogdanovich.
Is not on there.
Man. Jimmy Butler
is on there. They got him as power forward for some reason.
Okay. This is gonna be awkward.
Mm-hmm. Two of these guys are actually out of position.
Jalen Brown
is on there. He's a small forward.
Okay. Bradley Beal
is the point guard for some reason.
What the hell?
That's the 2 of those guys. You got 2 of the guys who are out of position. The last 2 are in position. I don't know if you're gonna get the one of them. I don't know if you're gonna get one of them. The other one you should.
My all-time favorite guy, Malcolm Brogdon,
is not on there. Actually.
Oh, come on! That's my guy.
He's not on there.
LaMelo Ball.
Not on there. You're missing a shooting guard and a center.
A center?
Mm-hmm.
East or west on the center?
East.
Oh. Ken Birch.
He still plays for the Magic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Boucher?
Chris Boucher, yeah.
Oh, I don't even remember. Bobby Boucher?
Yeah, I'm surprised you got that one.
I was just going through centers. So I was like, Toronto.
Yeah, actually, you got that one. So now you're just missing the shooting guard. This one.
Is it East or West?
West. You got to know this one.
Oh, Booker.
Yeah, there you go. You popped that one pretty good, man.
Oh, thank God. How do you want to all his dead air time? Just like, is this bro gonna make any of these?
All right. And now we're gonna have this little debate, okay? So we have 2 different draft class years, 2016 and 2018.
Okay.
I want your opinion on which one was better. From the 2016 draft year, Ben Simmons, Jalen Brown, Brandon Ingram, Domantas Sabonis.
Okay.
2018 draft class, Trey Young, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka Doncic, DeAndre Ayton. Which draft class is better?
Okay, obviously Luka is probably the best pick out of both of them.
Yes, I agree with you.
So there's 1 point for that draft class. Trey Young versus Jalen Brown and Ben Simmons.
Why do you think of that? I'm gonna take a quick pause. Go ahead, keep going.
I think I like Trey Young more than I like, to be honest. I mean, my guys are Ben Simmons and Jalen Brown, but I kind of like. I mean, you kind of like I had to take my emotions out of it, my hatred for Trey Young out of it, which I just learned that I hate him. So I don't hate him, but just sports hate. But because I think he looks like the Green Goblin, but that's just my own personal opinion. Or what I thought the Green Goblin would look like. But I probably have to give it to Trey Young, objective. I do like Jalen Brown though. Sabonis. How does Sabonis factor into all this? Do I like Sabonis more than I like Ayton? I would say up to this point, I liked Sabonis more than I liked Ayton, but Ayton's actually showing me a lot so I'd probably go Ayton. So I guess my answer would be the 2018 draft. Because you've got your franchise changing player in Luka. You've got probably, a lot of people say baby Curry, but I'll say baby Steve Nash and Trey Young. and you got a blossoming center, DeAndre Ayton, that's probably maybe making a turn. Maybe this is his big, big introduction to, where he's going to start dominating the league. Or maybe it's just he's going to turn into back to being Ayton and not being okay. But yeah, I mean, I love Ben Simmons, man. Ben Simmons, I still ride for Ben Simmons. Obviously, Jalen Brown, I want him on the Spurs. But yeah, I'd go 2018. And that will be my final answer because I'm just talking to myself.
No, I'm listening. I listened to you, and that was good. I apologize. Had a quick call from Cut Man who said the Clippers are getting their butts whipped right now. 20-6, and Dallas missed one shot. But yeah, 20 to finish off what you were saying, I'd have to go with that 2016 draft just for now. I know Luka's the best guy in the 2018 draft. Sabonis has made big steps. Ingram has made big steps. Brown, I know I went for the Spurs, and Ben Simmons is probably the best defender in that draft. 2018 draft is a lot of offense for sure, and Ayton is still, we got to see moving forward. Overall, I think 2018 will be the better class, but for right now, I got to give it to the 2016.
That's true. They have the most all-star appearances, probably.
Yeah, and that's just slightly because they've been in the league a little bit longer than 2018. But we are now joining us and very happy and excited to have with us Devontae, better known as Devo. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, man. What's up?
Yeah.
Much. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Been a minute.
Yeah. How you guys been?
Yeah.
Good, man.
Good. How about you, man?
Feeling good, looking good.
That's the.
Hey, we're going with a little.
I think he was talking about himself, but
I definitely was talking about myself.
Can't see you, so I don't know how you look.
We'll take it as us. You're talking to us.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, man. So, y'all, we got Mr. Devo on today to talk a little soccer. We love soccer. I love
We're soccer friendly on this pod.
Yeah, we're soccer friendly. You know what I mean? So, Devo, we're gonna start off with that Europa League final between Man U and Villarreal. For those of you who don't know, it ended up being a 1-1 tie. They went to extra time, still tied, ended up going into a penalty shootout. This is the first time that I have seen a game go down through all shooters, including the goalie. And it came down to David De Gea to make a penalty shot or a penalty, scored a penalty kick, and they would have had to start over. And he took the most uninspired, lackadaisical free kick I have ever seen in my life. And man, you lost this game to Villarreal. Devo, break that down for me because I'm still pissed.
So the game as a whole, very sloppy, but that's what you can expect in a final, really. It's going to be a lot of intensity between both teams. They've fought pretty much the whole season just to get there. And so a lot of the times the final match isn't the most exciting. It's gritty, it's hard work, it's tactics, coaching, all of that. Manchester United had chances to put the game away, failed to do so, obviously. And then when they got down to penalties, surprisingly, everyone took pretty good shots. Now, when it came down to David De Gea, I mean, him being last in line for shooting for the 11, his shot, like you said, uninspired. I don't know what he was thinking there. He looked, I don't know, he didn't look confident in his run-up to shoot. Once he let it go off the boot, that definitely, it reflected. And so, as a Manchester United fan, definitely disappointing there. So, not too much to say. I mean, now over the last, let's say, three years, Manchester United have lost 4 quarterfinals, 2 semifinals, I believe, and now a final. So bottling it everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, the last month of the Prem League too, they just seem to play uninspired soccer. I mean, they lost their last two. They lost their last two out of or no, they lost or tied their last two out of or three out of four games. I mean, they tied to the last place Fulham, lost to Liverpool, lost to Leicester, and then beat the Wolves to close out the season. They just did not play very well. Shoots. Matter of fact, they even lost. Let me put it on there. They lost to Roma in that second leg of the semis of the Europa League, but they happened to be up already in the aggregate, so it didn't matter. But yeah, this was not a good. It's not a good finish.
No, Coach Solskjaer has been very off and on with his substitutes, and I think that plays a huge part into him losing all of these games. He doesn't know when to sub, how to sub. He's not confident with his subs, and everyone knows, like, when you're deep in, I'll call this a playoff, or we'll just go ahead and say what it is because it's a tournament. When you're deep in the tournament, depth is key. You can't rely on just 11 players to win you a game when you're 4, 5, 6 games in. It doesn't work like that when they're playing midweek in their regular season and then having to play tournaments as well. You get tired. So the subs that do come on have to make an immediate impact, or at the very least, hold on to what's been going on. You can't drop a level. And Solskjaer has been subbing in a way that almost, to me, drops a level. So, no, most of the people I've talked to, none of this, it doesn't make sense. Why? I mean, he's a good coach, but if you ask me, I wouldn't have him return.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you.
Yeah, that was my question. I was like, you don't want him back?
No.
Y'all have any candidates you don't want to replacement?
It's a tough one. And the easiest candidate right now would be Zinedine Zidane after he just stepped down from Real Madrid. And he's had a great couple of seasons after leaving them, after winning 3 Champions League titles back to back to back. And so he's first in mind, of course, but realistically, I'm not sure if that's a thing.
Yeah,
he might be too high caliber for that team right now.
Yeah. The other thing is Pogba coming back? Yes or no?
For me, I'm going to say no. And I'm going to say no on his behalf as well. I don't think he should return. He's a great player, but the team doesn't fit him. And I know that's hard to say, like, oh, every player should play team ball and kind of fit the team, but the team does not fit him. And I think that's haunted him and hurt him over his 3-year tenure. He's been played out of position all 3 years. And so when that happens, you can't expect a player to perform their best when they're not even happy playing where they are.
Yeah. I'd have to agree with you with Zidane for sure. And then I think Pogba might come back because they started playing better. But I think you're right. I think he should move. Where I'm not quite sure, but
with the wages he's getting, he can only go to a few places that can afford him, and those places being Manchester City, Juventus, Real Madrid, PSG.
Which I could see maybe a PSG or a Juventus picking him up, or maybe him wanting to go there to play with either Neymar or Ronaldo. So, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take that Manchester City off the table because he's at Manchester United, and you don't typically see anyone leave to go to the next door neighbors.
Right. Yeah. I was gonna say that's almost like in the NBA, except if you're Montreal.
Yeah, not exactly excited to go to the rival team.
Yeah.
Bad blood.
Yep. Now the big one, the biggest game, I guess, of the year in terms of soccer, or at least in my eyes, Man City versus Chelsea for the UEFA Championship League. And all EPL final for the UEFA title was this the past 2 out of 3 years, or 2 out of 4 years.
Wait, what are you asking? If this is the first or
No, I said this is the second all EPL championship for the UEFA in the past 2 out of 4 years.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So, EPL's they're doing their thing, trying to win these, teams are getting in and playing well when they're in the Champions League. Who wins this? Who do you want to win?
Who do I want to win?
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea.
Okay.
I want Chelsea to win because we've got our very own Christian Pulisic, the American. He's had a very off and on season.
Right.
But overall, I think he's a great player. And that would ring for us Americans, of course.
I believe that.
We do have another American on the other team, Manchester City, Steffen. I actually played with him when I was younger.
Oh, for real?
He's the goalkeeper, yeah.
That's
He's a U.S. national team player as well, alongside Christian. So
Really
they
nice.
play together. They
Really
know each other very well.
Yeah.
Now, they actually had this matchup a couple of weeks ago for
Yeah.
season, and Chelsea took that game.
Ooh.
Chelsea looks good. But
They beat them 2-1.
on paper, Manchester City's a better team, hands down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree that Man City probably should win this game, but I'm going with Chelsea, man. I am going with Chelsea. Granted, they did lose to Leicester in the FA. Yeah, they lost to them in the FA Cup final. Funny enough, they came back a few days later and beat Leicester in the Premier League. That's how that goes. And then they beat Aston Villa. And you're right, they did beat Man City a few weeks before that. Took out Real Madrid, who a few people thought would actually win the whole Champions League. So I'm actually going to ride with Chelsea. They're actually playing pretty well. And
Who's the hotter team coming in?
Manchester City, to me.
You?
Manchester City, I think they've won all of their most recent games. Chelsea, like Marshall had just mentioned, they lost in the final of FA Cup against Leicester, a team that they've actually been battling out to get into the top 4 for the season. And so Man City think with the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, and Riyad Mahrez, those 3 have been on fire.
Mm-hmm.
That attacking 3 for Manchester City, they look untouchable. It's just this is going to be down to who actually is disciplined in defending. That's where it's going to be. Man
City's only loss, their only couple of losses have been to Chelsea and Brighton down the stretch. So like Devontae said, they've been playing very, they have good attacking. What did you say, Devontae? I'm sorry. I was looking.
Their trio, they're just an exciting team to watch. They've got electric pace. They got De Bruyne, who just is a midfield like maestro. Phil Foden is a young talent that's showing his true colors this season. He came out, he's firing. He's worked his way into the first team, and then throughout this season, he's worked his way up as a starter, and now he's even worked his way up into being like a really key main player. They're looking to him. He's like 20 years old, and he's leading.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say I think I honestly think that Chelsea is going to win this game. My reason being, and it's actually something funny. Devo, your brother Damo had said this to me. He doesn't remember saying this to me. And I always bring it up, and he was like, okay, I might have said that, but I was just like, it's hard. I mean, it's hard for any team to do this, but the team that seems to win the Prem League doesn't seem to win the Champions League. And I've kind of noticed that. So that's why I'm riding with Chelsea on this, because Man City did win the Prem League. Now, it could be wrong. And like you said, Man City does look like the better team. But overall, I think Chelsea's going to take this one 2-1.
Now, I hear you there. There is kind of I'm not going to call it a curse, but there is a little bit of if you win the league, you don't get Champions League. I hear you. N'Golo Kante had a hamstring strain. And for me right now, he's Chelsea's best player. If he does not play,
that's true.
Their chances are greatly reduced. And so we'll see if he's fit in time.
Yeah, they drop significantly if he can't play. For sure.
Was there anything that you saw in the other game that made you think, okay, maybe this can be replicated, or was it more about what man didn't do?
I think it's all in the lineups. And so in that game a few weeks ago, Manchester City and Chelsea, Manchester City didn't come out with their I wouldn't call it like their A squad. They didn't come with the best of the best, and they didn't play great. No excuses there. You go out to win games regardless of who's on the field or not. But I think they've really, since that game, they've put in performances that have said, okay, this is the lineup that we're going to rock with. This is how we're going to go out. This is how we're going to play. And all of those performances since then have been very convincing.
True. I feel it, man. I feel it. So Devo, moving forward, man. USA national team. Obviously we have the World Cup coming up. Supposed to be next year. We'll see depending on can y'all hear me, by the way? I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I know I've been cutting in and out apparently. With the World Cup coming up next year, we're gonna have some qualifying this year, especially since we kind of have to, rush some certain things because of the pandemic. Do you think that with the team we have presently constructed can make some noise and at least make the World Cup this time around?
Yeah, for sure. We should. Thinking about last World Cup, I'm not exactly sure how we didn't qualify. We didn't play good, but I feel like we should qualify every World Cup. And so that's why it was so disappointing last time. But this time, the team's good enough to qualify. Now, assuming we actually do qualify, are we good enough to get out of group stage? Me personally, that depends on who we get grouped with. But like in general, I would say no.
Okay. Sad face.
Yeah, very much. It's crazy because the amount of talent that we have, this is the best we've ever been.
Yeah.
But the team, I don't think we've progressed at all.
Okay. I feel you. I mean, to me, just from the talent that I've seen that we put overseas, guys that are actually getting experience, getting playing time, like you said, it's probably some of the best talent that we've had probably since 2009, 2010 we went over to the World Cup before Charlie Davies, ended up getting hurt. So I'm excited and I'm very, very hopeful. We'll see how we do I think we have the gold. Is the Gold Cup this summer, or was that supposed to be last summer? I know they had to change.
I'm actually not
some
even sure on
stuff.
Gold Cup. It's been a weird time. So we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, and then along with the qualifying, we should be able to take care of a lot of these teams and at least make qualifying. So baby steps, because we went all the way back. We made it out of group stage the previous 2 out of 3 years, and then just didn't make it last year. So I'm just like, or last time around. So I'm just kind of like,
Yeah. As far as talent goes, like we've got Gio Reyna, Pulisic.
listen,
Like who else has Tim Weah? Our attacking side is decent. I still don't think we have a natural goal scorer, someone that's reliable and can actually win games for us. I don't think we have that. Our defense, I'm just going to put this out here, horrible. Horrible.
We still got that Dallas Cowboys defense, man.
I don't remember the last time I've ever watched a U.S. national team game and seen the same 4 defenders 3 games in a row, and that's sad.
Okay.
I can't remember the last time I saw Dallas Cowboys with the same defenders back in the secondary in the same game. I'm sorry. I compare the two because the defense for teams that I like is just trash. What the hell are y'all doing?
Not to mention for our U.S. team, we don't have a playing style that fits the players that we have. U.S. is very much run and gun, and we think we're more athletic than literally every other country on the planet, and that's not the case. And so when we're not the most athletic and we look to try and play against other teams, we know we're not the most skilled or technical. So we don't really rely on that. We rely on that speed, athleticism, strength. So when that doesn't work, you see what happens. We don't qualify. That's how it looks.
Yeah.
In a game of chess, we are playing checkers.
No.
Devo, before we let you, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
No, go ahead. What you were saying, I didn't know you were still talking. I apologize.
I was saying it's unfortunate. I hope for the best, of course, because I'm American too, and I want us to succeed. But at the rate that we're going, it's gonna look like another disappointing World Cup.
Not what I wanted to hear, but hey,
hard times.
It is what it is. Hard times. Well, Devo, before we let you go, man, if I remember correctly, you've kind of been keeping up with some of the NBA playoffs a little bit, right?
Right.
Which team so far? Say it again, Greg.
I said because he's been listening to Stats versus Facts.
Of course.
Because he's listening to Stats versus Facts. That's right. Which series has kind of surprised you the most so far?
Well, of course, it's got to be the Mavericks and Clippers. Of course. Right. I honestly, I thought Paul George was going to be the guy that he said he was going to be. He is not. True. Luka is. That simple. Yeah. And Kawhi Leonard, I love Kawhi, and honestly, he's been playing well. It's just he doesn't have the killer takeover. He has a solid game, and almost you can say, okay, he did his thing. What the rest of the team do? But when it comes to true champions, I feel like there's something within them that says, I don't care what anyone else is doing. I'll do it myself. Right. And I don't see that with him.
Yeah. To me, with Kawhi, there are guys that can both score and are playmakers like LeBron James. Even Kevin Durant, to a particular sense, can be a bit of a playmaker. I've seen him do it. I just don't really see that with Kawhi. Like, I don't know. And like you said, it's just that killing instinct too.
I think he doesn't have the more like his game is elite. I don't think his leadership is elite.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He's not the type of guy you want to go into a game with. You're like, he's not inspiring. He's not really like.
Right. I think truly that makes the difference. That's the difference between him being a great player and him, making that next level cut.
Yeah.
Right. And then my last question to you, Devo, is who you got coming out of the East? Who you got coming out of the West?
Ooh, okay. Great question. All right, I'll start with the East.
Okay.
Because I actually was paying attention to the Brooklyn Nets.
We're losing right now, by the way.
That is okay. I think they look good enough.
Right.
And I think they figure that I think they figure it out.
Okay.
And then on the West, I'm tempted to say the Lakers. I'm very tempted. But honestly, I don't know. There are times where they just do not look good. They playing some high school basketball out there.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, LeBron, you got us? And he's like, you know what? I don't know about tonight, but yeah.
Do you see LeBron that first half? He was just like passing to people and they were trying to pass it to him, like, do something, bro. And like, nah, I'm good. He just kept passing it out. I was like, is it going to be one of those nights where you just like don't want to do anything?
Yeah. Oh, man. So who's coming out of the West? So in the West, we've got the Suns. They're looking good. We've got the Mavs, Clips, Jazz, Nuggets.
You can stop there because that's probably about it.
I can't call the West. That one's wide open. That is wide open.
Okay.
But I will say, if Luka brings the Mavs out, just give him what he wants. It doesn't matter.
Dude, can you imagine he takes Hardaway Jr. and Finney Smith to the finals?
That'd be insane. That's what I'm saying. Give him what he wants. If he asks for extra biscuits, give him extra biscuits.
For real.
The corpse of Porzingis.
Yeah. You know what would be completely wild is if, let's say, Dallas beats the Clippers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't make the finals, and Kawhi goes and joins them.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, ugh.
Oh my God. If Kawhi joins the Mavs, oh my God. That would be sad. Oh my goodness gracious.
I'm not sure I could see that happening.
Yeah, I can't. I still think he's going to Miami. I
think that's a better fit. Dallas is as great of a city as it is. Dallas for basketball, for some reason, just does not click. It just doesn't. It doesn't sound attractive.
I mean,
if you had to choose between Dallas and Miami as a city.
As a city, you're going to Miami, 100.
Right.
See, but I would go to Dallas just because I wouldn't want the distractions. I'd be like, nah, there's no way I'm going to win a championship over here. I couldn't be focused. Like, send me
to
Milwaukee.
Kawhi would make sense to go to Dallas, but
he's not really a guy that's all out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he's more really to himself. Obviously, he is making a song with NBA YoungBoy.
Oh, here we go, Kawhi.
I don't know. I don't know.
He's a fun guy. What else can
One
you
guy
say?
goes to South Beach. We'll get
But
to hear
yeah.
about it all off season.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting off season. Devo, for the coming out of the West, man. I said because it would be my nightmare scenario, the Clippers and the Nets. I don't want to see that. I think that it still possibly can happen. I just don't want to see it because that means you're gonna have two teams that have guys that sat out, load managed, have really no chemistry together. They're just that talented that got together. Other teams are gonna start doing that. They're gonna be like, man, I don't need to play all the games. That's all it is. And start sitting down. I'm gonna be like, oh, here we go.
If the Clippers get bounced by the Mavs, I won't ever believe a thing Paul George says ever again, and I don't want to hear from him ever again because Damian Lillard, he does something similar every year. Don't sleep on us in the playoffs. We're gonna do this. We're great. They're sleeping on us. We're underestimated. I'm doing so great. Damian Lillard, he comes out and performs. His team doesn't, but he does. Paul George is quite the opposite. He says, wait till I get to the playoffs. I'm going to be a beast. You guys are going to realize you made all the mistakes about my judgment from the previous year and all of that. Playoffs comes. Well, here we are again.
Yeah, he had a bad first game. He had a decent second game, but not from what I mean, don't get me wrong, it was efficient. He had 28 points, but I need 30 out of you, Paul George.
Exactly. If he's going to be talking that talk, you got to show up, and it's 30 a night or nothing. 30 a night with a dub, should I say.
Yeah. So right now they're in a close one with the Mavericks after starting out kind of bad. And I mean, Paul George has 13, 6-8, 1-1 from the 3-point line. Kawhi's got 14, 6-6, 2-2 from the 3-point line. So I mean, he's playing better, but like you said, let me see that take over Paul George, clutch this guy, that. Then I'll start saying, okay, maybe.
Starting to think that injury had the best of him.
Yeah, it might. Like LeBron said, I don't know if he'll ever be 100% again. And I mean, that just seems to be players that happen to get injured. So
LeBron said that.
I can't believe so many people took that out of context. I understand that. I'm 26. I know what that feels like to say I'll never be 100% because 100% is a myth. This is non-existent at some points in your career. Like, you take so many small things, they add up, and then it just can't go back.
Yeah, you got a lot of things that nag you, a lot of injuries that'll just nag you throughout the rest of your career.
Yeah. That's just how it goes. And, it's fine. People perform at less than 100% all the time. But, they make that their new normal. They expect to have those kind of lingering injuries or just small knacks or those kind of things. And so you, as an athlete, you understand that. Most people spectating probably don't. But you know your limits and what you can and can't do. So it makes complete sense to me how he said it.
Yeah. I would agree with you. But yeah, man, I think that's gonna actually do it for this episode, fellas. And this is another great episode.
Banger.
Yes, sir. As always, you can catch us on listen to us on Anchor. You listen to us on Breaker. You can listen to us on Radio Public. You can listen to us on Google Podcasts. You can listen to us on Spotify. Of course, it's at anchor.fm, you know what I mean? And also YouTube under Stats versus Facts Sports Talk. Again, that's Stats versus Facts Sports Talk. If you ain't got that VS, what you listening to, G Money?
That triple BS.
Yeah, that triple BS. Go follow us on SBF Sports Talk on Instagram and Twitter. And then go follow, man, make sure y'all go follow the Brother Show Spurs versus Everybody on Twitter, Instagram, and listen to it on whatever you hear your podcast, wherever you get all that. You know what I'm saying? Listen to us. Devo, we appreciate you being in the house with us, man, talking some soccer, dropping some nuggets on us. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We appreciate you, you know. And for Devo G Money, it's been your boy Marsh. Oh man, hold on a second. I gotta get it up. And we will absolutely catch y'all next time. Wait a minute. On that. Stats versus facts. Hey, stats versus facts. Hey, know where we at on the stats versus facts. Yeah, my boy, hella black on the stats versus facts. And you might get smacked by the stats versus facts. Hey. And we'll catch y'all next time.
Peace.